Going on YouTube? It's been a minute. It's been quite some time. And wow, I've been away from this whole YouTube channel for some time, and I thought it was just going to be, I thought it would be kind of wild to just do a impromptu live stream. Like I said, I haven't made a video in, gosh, it's been probably like a year and a half. And I've just been busy with life, ministry, real estate, and different things like that. So I guess I kind of lost a little bit of that fire to make videos. And I really appreciate all the subs that came on after I made my video about Jordan Peterson. I got a whole lot of response from that. Still getting engagement on that video. That video got like 250,000 views or whatnot. I was blown away. But nonetheless, I was talking to a good friend of mine who also has a YouTube channel, Zanetta Allen, Zaneta, last name Allen, Allen. She's a cool friend of mine, has her own YouTube channel going on, and YouTube channel is actually getting a lot of traction. You know, she's getting close to getting about 2,000 subs, and so me and her go back and forth and talk about things in a positive way, no arguments. But you know, seeing what she's been doing, I've decided that I was like, yeah, you know, she's encouraging me. You got 5,000 subs. Like, why aren't you responding, man? Those people subbed to your channel, and you just kind of gave up. And I was like, yeah, no, I've been caught up in some stuff. But what's going on, Kevin? I appreciate you jumping on. Let's see, Mon Amber Chidi, you're back. What a surprise! I told you, man, it was going to be an impromptu live stream. I posted those pics. Let me know the 4 of you guys that are on right now. I posted some the YouTube story posts with the pictures about the live stream. Did you guys see those, or did you just kind of see you're on YouTube right now and you saw the fact that I went live? I'm just curious to know, because I posted it. I didn't get much responses from those, so I wasn't sure if people actually saw them, because you know how YouTube does. You know how it is. But yeah, like I was saying, so I was talking to Zanetta Allen, and she was like, Chidi, you gotta start doing videos, man. You know, the way you speak and the way you engage. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, please. I'm a humble guy. But she's like, you don't want to sit here and just take for granted the fact that you got over 5,000 subs, man. A lot of people, they struggle to get a couple hundred. You got over 5,000. So anyway, strictly YouTube, and you popped up. Yeah, man, so that's crazy. I posted those things, and I knew as soon as I posted those little pics, the little YouTube story posts, and I didn't get much. After a couple hours, I got 2 likes on one, and the other one I posted about 5 hours was a reminder, and I got nothing in response. And I was like, that's kind of crazy that barely anybody responded to it. I appreciate the 2 I got. But, oh, look at Damien, what's going on? Damien, I appreciate you, brother. Do you know about the fires? I don't know anything about the fires in Azusa. I don't know anything about that. I know it's hot as a fire up out here. It's like 100 degrees. I'm over here in California. Southern California, LA County. So it's hot as a mug out here. It's almost 100 degrees. So me and my boy Damien, we're hot. But yeah, man, so I just wanted to, you know, it's been so long, so I was like, let me just hop on a live stream. I don't even want to do a regular video. This is my first time ever doing a live stream. I've done live streams for Bible studies that I teach here at the Doherty Church of Christ, but I haven't done a live stream for YouTube specific. So anyways, I appreciate y'all that are on here. I was concerned that barely anybody was going to hop on this thing. I was going to be on here for 10, 20 minutes just doing a live stream, and literally I was just going to be talking for video's sake. So I appreciate y'all being on. But as you saw in the title, a couple things I want to talk about. Just about the whole, you know, throughout this whole time with leading up to the election, we're about almost like 80 days, a little over 80 days away from the election. And I've been rock solid 100% confident that Trump's going to win this thing. I have not been worried at all that Trump was going to lose it. And especially when Biden picked Kamala Harris as his VP, I was like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap at this point. I was like, why he would pick her, I don't know. I'm not a Democrat, so I don't know these kind of things because I think with a logical mind. But I was already 100%, look, I've got many dinner bets on Trump winning in 2020. And I plan to be eating good after November 3rd. But when he picked Kamala Harris, I knew for a fact, I was like, oh, this is going down. I was like, there's no way he's going to lose now. There's no way. She's the wrong one. Kevin Creed, are you a Trump supporter? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. Voted for him in 2020, and voted for him in 2016. I'll vote for him again. So because here's the big thing about Trump. You know, when it comes to me voting for Trump, I'm a policy guy. I'm not voting for a preacher. I'm not voting for an elder or a deacon in the church. I'm voting for somebody. The presidency is a job. Bottom line, that's what it is. It's a job. I don't look to the presidency as he can be moral. He obviously we would expect somebody to be virtuous in that high office, but at the same time, it's a job. And so I'm looking for somebody to do the job. And when it came down to 2016, it was Hillary and Trump. Now, I'm conservative, and I'm voting Republican. But I was like, who can do the better job? They both have their flaws and their foibles, but who can do a better job? And to me, it was policy-wise, going down what Trump was supporting. I knew he was going to do, he'd be better for the economy. I knew he'd be better in regards to immigration. I knew he would be better in regards to, business, in regards to trade. Now, I'm not the biggest tariff guy, but I knew Trump would help in regards to trade, dealing with, social justice and all that stuff. I knew Trump was going to be the better guy for that. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Trump and his marriages, and people can bring up business dealings and things of that sort. And I'm like, that is all on his outside things. I'm talking about what is the policies he's going to be looking forward to enact, and, who is he going to put in the Supreme Court, even though the Supreme Court is better than what they're going to do, what the Dems are going to do. But nonetheless, I'm looking for somebody to do the job. And Trump's the guy that's going to get the job done. And as a Christian, the things, do I think Trump is this virtuous Christian man? I'm not looking at him like that. But as a Christian, who would I have a harder time being under having a president and being under that president? Would President Hillary Clinton be more favorable towards Christians? Would she make it harder for Christians to practice their faith? Would she make it harder or make it more prevalent, more things that are anti-Christ and things that go against virtuous things as taught in the Word of God? Absolutely she would. Do I think Trump would be against that? At this point, Trump has been excellent for Christians. Not by his character and how he tweets and says certain things about certain people. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But has he put forth laws and executive orders or advocated for things that have been disadvantageous towards Christians? Absolutely not. Okay, he's been very pro-life in the way he spoke about it. And people say, well, he's not pro-life secretly. He's just saying that to curry votes. I was like, but he's saying that. Okay, but he's saying that, and he speaks at the pro-life rally, the March for Life rally. Okay, first time president doing that. So nonetheless, as a Christian, I have no problem voting for him as president, as compared to the loony left and what they're advocating for, and these completely ungodly positions that they stand for. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Let me see, because I want to see these comments. Let's see. Damien says it's funny how she was attacking him so much during the debates, but now that he picked her, he walks on water. That's politics. I'm saying, what did she say? She with the busing program, like he was anti-busing, even though at times she was anti-busing, but it's like, so he's anti-busing, he's bigot, he's working with segregationists, being chummy with segregationists. She basically just outright, without literally calling him a racist, she's calling him a racist, and now he puts her on as the VP, and now it's all great. He's great for America. Girl, 5-6 months ago, you were basically saying he was a racist. So what's going on, Zanetta? I was talking about you. I was telling these people about you, about how your channel's that fire, and how you're gaining all those subs and whatnot. How you and me go back and forth talking about stuff in a good way. So, anyways, I appreciate you being on. So, look, Zanetta, we got 5 people up on here. So I was concerned. Okay, Zanetta said I was going to have like 20 people on here because I got 5,000 subs. And I was like, Zanetta, look, I don't have the juice like you do right now. So if I get 10, I'd be happy. But I don't even know if I was going to get that much. So anyways, but yeah. So I'm going back. Let me see. I was looking at. I want to see. Kevin Creed. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, beliefs, but you endorsing Trump is a surprise revelation. I'm not sure why that's a surprise to you. I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, if you looked at my I've got several videos on my channel, and my videos have definitely been conservative and definitely been supportive of Trump in regards to his presidency and definitely the policies that he's put forth. So I'm kind of surprised that you would think. I'm not sure if maybe you're new to my channel or if you've been a long time. If you've been a long time subscriber, I'll be pretty surprised by that. I'm not even trying to be condescending or disrespectful or anything like that because pretty much a lot of my videos have been conservative and supportive of Trump trying to make America great. Even though I believe America's been great. It's had its mishaps, obviously, slavery and Jim Crow and all that stuff. Thank you, Democrats, for that. But, America, here's the thing about America. America is not a perfect nation in the sense like no nation has been perfect. But with our constitutional republic and the way that the founders set up this country, it laid the ground, the pathway for this country to move towards greatness, so that you went from blacks being slaves with insurmountable odds, being slaves in this country, to then not only emancipating slaves, but then those emancipated slaves then become representatives and senators in the government of that country, and then eventually becoming the president of that same country. And if you took all the GDP, okay, the spending of black people in this country and just assumed all of it and took the total, America, or that country, just the black GDP would be, I think, the 15th or 16th richest country in this nation. All right. Black people have surmounted such odds, such obstacles, such oppression to where they're at today, when they have black CEOs, black billionaires, black business owners, black government, black representatives, black Congress people. All right. To where you have black police chiefs, black district attorneys, black attorney generals. Black people have been all up in America. And that points to the greatness of America. That points to the greatness of America. That's why America is great. And I take heavy offense to people that America's never been great. If you say something like that in front of me, I'm like, well, then you can leave. I don't care if you're black or white or whoever you are, then you can leave. And I know white people say that, of course, people just say they're racist for that. But I'm like, look, and especially if you this is why a big problem with me and the left. If you are heavily critical of this country, this is a big problem with the left for me personally, is that I never hear from, let's say, Biden, Kamala, Hillary, AOC, all these different people. Where's the positive of America? Why don't you guys ever speak positively of America? When I hear you guys speak of America, it's always from a negative point of view. It's always from a negative angle. I never hear it from speaking of the virtues of America, the great things, the way that America has, gotten over the hill of racist past and racist treatments of all people, in a sense, because there's been racist treatment of white people and black people. Of course, we just look at it from the black angle because obviously slavery was such an egregious error in America. But I'm like, I never see the left talk about the positivity of America. Okay. I never see the positive stories. I almost always hear it from a negative point of view. And I'm like, that's why I can't rock with the left. Because there's no positivity. There's no grace. There's no joy. The left destroys everything it touches. And for that, I just cannot get with it. It says, yes, we have overcome insurmountable odds. Man, see, your comment came up and then it went away. Let me get this comment again. But this country still has a long way to go. Oh, by no means is this country perfect. And I speak to that. But I'm just saying, when people come at this country, Kevin, from when AOC said this country is basically garbage. And I'm like, see, when you say stuff like that, AOC, you can go. Like, why would you stay in a garbage country? Why would you want to be in a garbage country? Why would you want to be a representative in a garbage country? Why wouldn't you go to another country? Why wouldn't you go to Scandinavia, one of these quote unquote countries that you call socialist that really ain't socialist? Why wouldn't you go to one of those countries? Because you like the benefits of America. But then at the same time, you're going to call America trash. You can go ahead and leave. All right? Respectfully. All right? You can just go ahead and leave if that's what you're going to be on. What was going to ask you, have any leftist friends that you still talk to when you told you support Trump? You know what? I haven't had that real anti-negative conversation, like people once they find out I support Trump, because I'm pretty respectful in the way I engage with people. So a lot of people think I would support Trump just by the way I carry myself, just the way I speak about things. They're kind of like, this was probably a Trump supporter. And I'm like, okay, I can't help that. Like, I'm positive. I speak positive about America. I constantly remind people that, hey, you are your biggest impediment. No system, no group of boogeymen, white people, or whatever you want to call it, is going to stop you from being successful in America. If you want to be successful, okay, your attitude and the effort that you put in is solely going to determine that in America. There are terrible stories when people have, the government, does things, and it's not just a racist thing. It's just when the government, I've seen stories where the EPA, goes against people and puts bills and fines on them because of things they've done to their property. There's lots of different stories where, people have gone or people have dealt with adverse responses from the government. But I'm saying, like, in regards to, in America, it's real basic in America. If you want to have a marginal amount of success in America, you only got to do a couple things. One, all right, don't commit any major crimes. Two, don't have a child out of wedlock. Three, get married if you're going to have a child. And four, at least graduate high school. If you don't go to college, at least get a trade and get a job. If you do those things in America, you're not going to be poor. I'm not saying you're going to be balling out of control and wealthy, but you're not going to be poor in America if you just do those simple things. And when you see a lot of people in poverty, all right, they have mishap on one or multiple of those things. It's very consistent. All right. This is why and I was talking with Zanette. I'm not even sure if she's still on because she's a busy woman, so she got stuff going on. But I was telling her about, people talk about the black community like it's just this completely impoverished community, and there's just, there's poor, and everywhere black people are, it's like the inner city. No, there's a black middle class, and there are thriving black people. But I'll tell you this, okay, black poverty, is much higher for people that are not married. When you look at black married couples, the percentage of black couples that are actually in poverty is in single digits. Single digits in America. These are just black married couples, which lets you, the greatest privilege in America is not white privilege. To me, the greatest privilege in America, first is Christ's privilege, being a child of God. That's the greatest privilege you're going to have. And then second, and far away from it, but second, in my humble opinion, okay, is two-parent privilege. All right? If you grew up in a house with two parents, you're going to be in a much better place in life. Two married parents, by that. I'm not talking about two people that are just shacking. Two married people. Simple. It's a simple, honest take, but I'm just saying, I grew up in a household where I had a father in the house the entire time of my formidable years. My mom and dad were married, and their marriage ended when my father passed away. That's when that marriage ended, And I thank God for giving me a father the way he was, an African immigrant who worked hard, didn't complain about racism. I never heard him complain about racism. In all my 39 years of life, 31 years while he was living, I never heard him once complain about racism. I never once heard him talk about white people from a negative standpoint. And I know he dealt with stuff because he's married to a white woman. And he married my mom in Illinois, in an area that was predominantly filled with lots of white people. So, and especially him being an African on top of that. Not just a regular black, but an African on top of that. And so I know he dealt with stuff, but never mentioned it to me. We never had the talk. He never had to explain to me about police because my dad was a respectful man. He taught us to be confident, be a strong man, and respect others. And if you do that, you're going to respect the police, you're going to respect your teachers, you're going to respect authority, period, off top. So, interesting. So, but that's why, does America have a long way to go? Yeah, America can always be better. But I'll say the left will always, the left destroys everything it touches. And that's a question, everybody on this live stream. Think of anything that the left has touched. Think of anything that the left has touched and made better. Just think of anything. There's not one single thing the left has touched and made better. Sexuality, it used to just be male, female. They have gotten their hands on that, destroyed that. At least destroyed a perception of it. The economy, high taxes, attacking the wealthy, crushing jobs, higher minimum wage, they destroyed that. All right. Just, sexual morality. Look at the video WAP with Cardi B. I can't tell you how many times I was on YouTube. I just wanted to watch a little snippet of that rap video. I was appalled. It was disgusting. Okay. It was disgusting. And I can't tell you how many people I saw in there that were congratulating Cardi B, talk about how progressive and how bold of a mood, how strong of a woman she is. I was like, no, she's promoting prostitution. It's okay to sleep around and give up sex as long as you get something in return. I was like, that's called prostitution. I didn't know prostitution could be sexy. I didn't know prostitution is now an honorable thing. But you know what? I guarantee you, if Miley Cyrus, instead of Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, instead of them doing it, I guarantee if Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift did that same song, people will be complaining. People will be talking about how grody, how nasty, how vile. Why would they do that? That's just wrong. Why would they go that direction? But let two black women do it, or let's a black woman and an Afro Latino woman. Let them do that song, and everybody cheered it on. It lets you know how the media and how the left feels about black women. That it's okay to be hoeing if you're black, but if you're a white woman, come on, y'all are better than that. That's offensive to me. That's offensive. I don't care who did the song, if it was two white girls or two black girls, but the fact that the media has this bias where they treat black people like children to whom the truth cannot be told. It's like, these women can be overtly sexual and misogynistic, but they're black women, so it's okay. All right, but we won't let our white women do that, because white women, they're better than that. See, this is where the left destroys race. Okay, and the media is terrible on this. In regards to that Cannon Hinnant story, the 5-year-old boy that was shot by the black man, I'm not even looking at it from a racial angle, because I don't know what influenced this guy out of just pure evil. I'm not sure what influenced the guy to do what he did to that boy. But the fact that I even looked today, it's been several days since this whole thing happened. I looked today and just typed up the story, and nothing from mainstream news. No New York Times, no CNN, no LA Times, no MSNBC, nothing. The only people I saw reporting on that, at least from my simple Google search, were local news agencies. And of course, they're going to report that. They got to. These are local agencies. They're going to report on that. But nobody was reporting it from CNN. Not a blurb. And once again, I'm not even taking it from a racial angle, because I can't say anything about this as racial. But I know for sure that if Cannon Hinnant was a black boy killed by a 20-something-year-old white man, CNN, we'd be talking about this for 3-4 weeks. We'd have to have a conversation about race in America. We'd have to talk about a conversation about white supremacy in America. We'd have to be lectured about how, white people don't understand the overwhelming oppression of blacks. Okay, but so I'm like, so the media wants division. The media has a narrative. The media want to keep black people angry, because angry black people more often than not vote for the Democrat Party. And that's what these news organizations are. They're news organizations for the Democrat Party outside of Fox News. And Fox News is just one organization. But you've got all the MSNBC, CBS News, ABC News, Headline News, Young Turks, all these different places. They're all left wing. And they're Democrat news outlets. And that to me is a problem. People make it with the Cannon Hinnant story. Well, it's not a cop killing the young boy. That's why we're more mad, because it's not the state killing the young boy. It's another citizen. I was like, y'all, but you guys didn't. I don't see the same energy with Trayvon Martin. He was killed by another citizen. Ahmaud Arbery, he was killed by another citizen. But we had to talk about that for weeks. Trayvon Martin, people still talk about Trayvon Martin to this day. He was killed by a citizen, so you don't keep the same energy. I'm all about the same energy doctrine. If you don't have the same energy about something that happens to a black person as it happens to a white person, I don't have time for you, because you're not keeping the same energy. I don't vibe with that. Some people were, it was because he wasn't killed by a state operative. I'm like, that's just foolishness. If it's wrong, it's wrong, and the news media should report on it. But since it's a black man, look, black people are oppressed. So if a black man just execution style kills a 5-year-old white boy, well, they're an oppressed minority. So we can't report on them like that, because they're going through a hard time. That's condescending, and that's evil. So once again, I don't have time for that. So, man, these are crazy times, but I really do appreciate everybody I do appreciate everybody who has commented and been on. I actually wasn't even planning on doing this that long because I didn't think that many people would get on. So I appreciate the 7. I think up at one point I had 9 people on. That's crazy to me. After this long of a time. Isn't that true about the lack of grace by the left? There is no sense of redemption for the nation's past, Mon Amber. Man, I appreciate that comment. That's one of the big things about the left. There's the left obviously is anti-religion, period. I mean, unless you're a Muslim, they're cool with Muslims because they basically treat Muslims as minorities, even though there's Muslims of all shades. But if you're a Christian, man, the left has no tolerance for Christianity. No tolerance. Especially white Christians. White male Christians, no tolerance for white male Christians. Big enemy. But there's no grace on the left. There is no grace. If you are on the right or perceived to be somebody who is conservative and you have a fall, you're done. You're done. There's no grace. There's no forgiveness. There's no redemption. I believe everybody should be afforded redemption. As a Christian, how could God redeem me? How can I not give an avenue for somebody to be redeemed? And especially when something that somebody did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and they're canceled. I mean, it's not like they did it yesterday. And it's not even like they're unrepentant of it. It's just something that's been, sometimes it's things that's 10 years ago, they dealt with it 10 years ago, and now it's being dredged up again 10 years later and has to be readdressed. And now they're being canceled. People got mad, but they didn't cancel 10 years ago. But now you're going to be canceled because now we're angry about it all over again. There's no grace on the left. There's none. Uh-oh. Okay, I got lost connection for a second. I don't know why you'd want to be caught up in that kind of mentality. Grace is a beautiful thing. Coming back from a fall is a beautiful thing. Especially when somebody comes back from fall and they actually legitimately change. That's a beautiful thing. The left doesn't like that. The left says, hey, and then that's why you can't apologize to the mob. If you do something and you're in the right, you're with the right spirit, you do it with the right intention, and people come after you for what you're doing, do not apologize. I'm sorry if no, do not apologize. Because your apology doesn't mean anything to these people. Your apology means nothing to the left. Because once you apologize, now you're weak. Now you are in chains to the left. And they're going to continue to hold that over your head. And they're never going to let it go. So you might as well. That's why hey, I got mad respect for, the CEO of Goya. He's like, yeah, I'm cool with Trump. And people want to cancel him. He's like, I don't give a rip. I'm still cool with Trump. I'm not backing down. Trader Joe's is like, look, yeah, we got Trader Jose's and Trader Ming's. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not changing it to a different brand name. No, we're gonna keep on doing that because we know we're not wrong, and we're gonna keep that same energy, and we're gonna keep on selling it. And if you don't want to buy our food, go to Whole Foods, go to Sprouts, and do you. But we're not gonna change. I got respect for people like that instead of the people that bow down to the cancel culture mob. Is this true about Lyndon Johnson said, I'm going to keep those N-words voting Democrat for the next, I think he said 200 years? My comments keep on this. For the next 200 years. I heard this once or twice from a conservative Republican. Yeah, when it says, now that's not that phrase was not one, like actually a confirmed, literally, 100% confirmed. It was basically, it was reported that he said that. But one thing is for sure, Lyndon B. Johnson said that N-word. And for sure that the Civil Rights Act that we will sign in '64, there was a Civil Rights Act that came to LBJ prior to that, and he didn't sign it. And he wasn't interested in signing it at that point in time. So to make it seem like LBJ was this all for, he was for the black man, nah, he wasn't. Nah, he wasn't. There were political pawns, just like a bunch of black people are today that strictly vote Democrat on the plantation. They're pawns. And they will soon enough be replaced by Latinos. That's why Joe Biden, said what he said about how, basically, that the black community, is not diverse except for notable exceptions. I'm just curious to know what he meant by notable exceptions. Who are these notable exceptions in the black community, I guess? Because, of course, unlike the Latino community, that's very diverse, And do I believe Joe Biden is a racist for saying that? No, I just believe Joe Biden knows his people. He knows that black people, he's like, I got black people lock, stock, and barrel. I know how black people, the black Democrats, how they are. They're more on emotion. They're not so much about policy. They're about buzzwords and more favorable to emotion, and platitudes, things that sound right, and just saying, hey, we got to get rid of racism and all that stuff. Those are the buzzwords that black Democrats like. He knows his people. And so he's telling the truth, and conservatives can get mad and call him a racist and all that stuff. Do I think it's condescending? Yeah, it's condescending, but it's the reality for a Democrat. It's a reality for a Democrat like Joe Biden. He knows how black people are. He knows all he needs to do is keep that 90%, 95% black vote. He doesn't have to give him anything. He's just going to say, hey, yeah, we're going to look into reparations. Yeah, we're going to fight for social justice, and we're going to work with getting these police departments together and all this and eradicating racism. I'm going to have a racism committee to look into garbage. It's all garbage, all trash. But he knows those are the buzzwords and things that the black community will go for. All he has to do is say, oh yeah, and by the way, those people on the other side of the aisle, the Republicans, they're racist, so don't vote for them. Black people are like, gotcha. All right, that works for me. I'm good. It's terrible, but that's standard operating procedure for a Democrat running for president, a Democrat running for Congress, a Democrat running for city council. That's just standard operating procedure. So, but LBJ was no fan of black people, but nonetheless, you got lots of older blacks that have a lot of love for LBJ, and I'm not the biggest fan of LBJ, but it is what it is, He's been in office for a long time, so when somebody's been out of office for a long time, people tend to forget about people's history and people's, past decisions and whatnot. So, I don't know, we've been on for like a good quality 30 minutes, and I am appreciative for everybody that's came on. Let's do some more comments, because I'm not getting as many comments. But once again, I do appreciate the people that have come on to this live stream. I was very anxious to see about how many people would get on, how many people actually knew about this live stream, because I was like, I don't even know if YouTube, how YouTube just kind of, shadow bans and blocks and doesn't allow things to go through and whatnot. I wasn't even sure if people saw my post about the fact I was going to be doing a live stream. So the fact that 7 up to 9 people got on, I'm really appreciative of all you people that came on. I'm gonna start doing videos. It's been over a year. For some of y'all who came on, a little bit later, I've been caught up in ministry, and matter of fact, I'm doing this live stream from the room I do my Bible studies in on Facebook right now, since obviously the whole coronavirus and you can't be meet up in a house of worship because people lost their daggone minds about this whole thing. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing the live stream from here, and I'm gonna start doing these videos and putting them up. And we're just going to see where this goes. We're just going to see where it goes. And I appreciate I think it's like 5,300 subscribers that are still subscribed to my channel. And I'm shocked that I've been gone for that long and people still held on, because I really haven't been putting up videos, and it's like I've only been losing like a couple subscribers like week by week. And so the fact that people haven't abandoned, either people are just lazy and don't unsubscribe from channels that don't put up content, or people, hey, they're just kind of waiting for me to put up something. So either way, let's see. And think about the effect of if you are white, you are automatically guilty, or males are automatically toxic. The left are ungodly. God offers forgiveness, but you already know. This is true, but you already know, man. Yeah, if you're white, you're guilty. I would say, man, it's been a bad year for white people. I joke with all my white friends. I was like, you guys have had a bad 2020. Not because of what you guys have done, but just because of who you guys are. It's unfortunate, and I don't feel that way. But it's like, here's the biggest enemy right now. I would say not to all Americans, but just say, left-leaning and leftists. If you are white, Christian, male, heterosexual, which heterosexual being Christian, come on. But anyways, those 4 things: taller than 6 feet, all right, so above average height, middle class, and have some money in your bank account, and you vote Republican. If you are hitting on all those things, you are basically the Antichrist to the left. You are just a major oppressor of all people and all things. And I feel bad, because I'm like, dang, man, like you guys, you're just a white Christian male, middle class, and you are just, basking in your privilege, and and you have recessive genes leading you to racism and all this stuff, and it's just like, man, what can I say? I have no problem with you because I'm a conservative and I'm a Christian, so I don't judge people based like that. But they judge you like that, and that's just terrible and sad that they would judge you by the color of your skin and not the content of your character. A couple decades ago, some guy said that one time, and it was pretty profound. But hey, I guess people don't care about that. That's what I say. Joe told the truth. Exactly. Joe told the truth. And last couple thing I want to end on this, because I didn't really talk too much about Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris, trying to be respectful. I don't want to just be rude and disrespectful and say she's a trash candidate, but she's not a good candidate, and she's not the candidate that's going to really help Joe Biden. But one thing I wish people would kind of stop doing, because I just don't think it's beneficial for the conservative movement, is to joke or talk about Kamala Harris about, she ain't even black. Don't do that. don't go down that route. Because what happened when Joe Biden was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne? What did he say? He's like, hey, and if you don't vote for me, if you can't tell whether to vote for me or for Trump, you ain't black. That's what he said. And people are like, how dare he say that? Oh my gosh, he's racist. So-and-so. I'm like, he ain't racist. He's just joking around and being Joe. And just saying whatever he says, putting his foot in his mouth. I'm not trying to take cover for the guy, but I'm not quick to just run and just call somebody racist just because they say something that everybody else says is racist. But so he says that, everybody jumps on he's a racist. How dare he say that's condescending to black people, basically saying that black people have to vote Democrat Party. Well, once again, he knows his people. And he's saying, look, if you're black, come on now, y'all know how y'all do. You vote for us. These are people on the other side, they're racist. So if you can't tell, come on, you ain't black? Look, is that racist to me? No, it is not. But when he says that, and people complain and talk about how condescending he is towards black and treating blacks like black people are all the same. And then these same conservatives go out and say, well, look at Kamala Harris. She ain't even black. You're basically doing the same thing Joe Biden is doing in that sense. And there's nothing to gain from that. How are you going to win somebody over, trying to say somebody's not black enough? Regardless of whether you're white or black, it doesn't matter who is saying it. It's easier for a black person to say that, but I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense. Even though I do kind of have issues with somebody who, and this only happens in the black community, where somebody can be, let's say, 50% Indian. All right, her mom is Indian. Her dad is biracial. He's Jamaican and white. That makes her 25% black. Now, she has more Indian in her than she does black. All right. But she's recognized as a black woman. The black community is the only community I see doing that, where we'll take somebody that's 1/8 black, okay, 1/10 black, and if they get to a prominent position, first black person to, and I'm like, but they're more Indian or they're more white than they are black. And when you go to other countries, go to Japan and be a quarter Japanese, 50% white, and 25% Native American or something like that, and go to Japan and say, I'm Japanese. They'll be like, no, you're mixed. No, we don't do that over here. You are mixed. Yeah, you got some Japanese in you. We're not going to deny that. But you're not Japanese. You feel me? Like, no. You're too far away from the tree. Okay, that branch is too far away from the tree. No, we don't operate like that. When I went to Africa, when I went to Nigeria, and I've been there multiple times, okay, they call me Onyocha, which means white man. And I'm half black. I'm half Nigerian, half white, but they call me Onyocha. I wasn't offended. I get what they're trying to do. It's whatever. That doesn't bother me. But it's just to say, when you go to these other countries, they don't be buying into this whole, you can be one drop and hey, you with us now. They don't operate on that. And so, but in America, we do, because, you'll see certain people in the black community, they just want to have a sense like, hey, we're in there, we're inside. And it's like, don't take somebody that's like, a minority percentage of you guys, but a majority of somebody else, and then just claim them as if like they're 100% you guys. Nah, don't do that. That's just to me, it's just weird. It's just weird. So anyways, it's been 40 minutes, and I appreciate everybody getting on, commenting, liking. I got 6 thumbs up. That's pretty cool. 9 people got on, 6 hit the thumbs. and people got on that didn't even know I was doing the live stream. So what can I say? God is good all the time. And I'm gonna end it on that. So once again, I'm gonna start putting up some videos, and I appreciate you guys. If you obviously, I'm sure the people that are on were subscribers. I'm thankful that you guys have held on and didn't just unsub because you didn't see me put on videos. I wouldn't have been mad at you if you did, but nonetheless, you held on to my channel, and I sincerely do appreciate that. So just keep fighting a good fight of faith if you know the Lord like that, and I'll see you guys on the next one.